January 11th, 1965, a summer's day on Australia's southern Sydney beaches. Two 15-year-old girls set off for a fun day in the sand dunes at Wanda Beach. By the next morning, their bodies were found, partially buried, violently attacked, their young lives cut short. Their names, Marianne Schmidt and Christine Sharrock. Their killer, never caught. This is one of Australia's most famous unsolved murder cases. What happened in the sandhills that day? Let's explore every lead, every piece of evidence, and the legacy this case left behind. Marianne Schmidt and Christine Sharrock were neighbors in West Ryde, Sydney, both 15 years old. According to the Wikipedia record, Marianne had emigrated from West Germany in 1958 with her family. On Monday, 11th January 1965, they caught the train to Cronulla Station, arriving mid-morning as part of a group that included younger siblings of Marianne. Because surf conditions were dangerous, they moved away from the surf club and into the sandhills at the southern end of Wanda Beach. At around 12:45 p.m., fireman Dennis Dostine reportedly saw the girls walking urgently about 730 meters north of the surf club. One of the girls looked back over her shoulder repeatedly, as if being followed. After that sighting, they vanished. Their younger siblings waited until about 5 p.m. When they realized the girls hadn't returned, the younger ones left to collect the bags. At about 8:30 p.m., Christine's grandmother reported them missing. At dawn on 12th of January 1965, a young boy walking through the sandhills spotted what looked like a mannequin buried in sand. He alerted authorities, who uncovered the bodies of the two girls, partially buried, head down, in cold sand. Christine Sharrock lay face down, Marianne Schmidt on her right side, left leg bent. Both had scratch marks on their faces. A 34-meter drag mark led into the scene. Police concluded Christine attempted to flee, was caught and dragged back. Autopsy findings. Christine had her skull fractured by a blow to the back of the head and 10 plus to 14 stab wounds. Marianne had her throat deeply cut, 6 stab wounds, her underwear cut. Both had semen found, but their hymens intact. The scale of the investigation. By April 1966, police had interviewed around 7,000 people. Additional evidence. A blood-stained knife blade was found among sand sifted from the scene, but it was never conclusively tied to the crime. Over the decades, several suspects have been proposed. One of them, Christopher Bernard Wilder, an Australian-American serial killer who some investigators believe may have been active in Sydney in 1965. The NFSA notes him as a suspect in the Wanda case. Another, Derek Ernest Percy, convicted child killer in Victoria, who was in Ness Darwell's at the time of the murders. In 2012, NS Darwell's police cold case unit announced that a weak male DNA sample had been extracted from a pair of Christine's shorts. However, key semen sample from Marianne's body was reported lost in 2014. A more recent claim links infamous serial killer Ivan Milat to the case. His photo compared to a police sketch in 2025 by an MP seeking release of files. Yet despite these suspects, no one has ever been charged or convicted for the Wanda Beach murders. The case remains open. Here's a timeline of the key events. Jan 11, 1965, the two girls missing at Wanda Beach. Jan 12, 1965, their bodies discovered in sand dunes. Jan 20, 1965, funerals for Marianne and Christine. Feb-Mar 1965, a reward offered, initially $10,000 for information. April 1966, investigation interviews around 7,000 people. Feb 2012, weak male DNA found on Christine's shorts announced. Jan 2025, 60th anniversary of the murders. Family and media reflect on the case, and yet no conviction. The case remains New South Wales' oldest unsolved homicide. The Wanda Beach murders represent more than a crime. They marked a loss of innocence for suburban Australia. The NFSA calls the case a turning point in Australian crime reporting, signalling how historic suburban safety could be shattered. The site became a memorial. Families still visit the Sandhills. The case is covered in podcasts, books, documentaries. Attention remains high. But there are wider implications. DNA and cold case reviews have improved policing globally. The case also reminded parents and teens of vulnerability even in daylight and public spaces. Despite all the media, interviews, suspects, and DNA work, the crime remains unsolved. As of February 2025, police confirm the file is still open. Marianne Schmidt and Christine Sharrock were 15. They went to the beach for fun and ended up part of a mystery that still echoes today. Their lives ended on a sandhill, their story still unanswered. So we keep asking, who killed them? Was it Christopher Wilder, Derek Percy, Ivan Milat, or someone we've never heard of? If you're fascinated by cold cases, subscribe to the channel. Leave your theory in the comments because maybe together we can help keep their memory alive.